And we're back with Paul Preikschas of the Cadets and General Maisonneuve, retired, of the Canadian Armed Forces. We were talking just before the break. I want to come back to this about some of the specificities, if you will, of the cadet program. It's not just drill. No, it's not just being taught by a bunch of older people.
It's taught by cadets. It's taught by their peers. And that's one of the key possibilities of the program, is not listening to some old adult or old teenager. You're listening to your friend teaching you. And that's a very key component with the young people today.
I mean, really, I'm sure most people watching don't know anything about this. And they're saying, geez, well, where do you meet? How do you meet? How do you get into it?
So again...
Do you meet in church basements?
Out of Ontario, and that's where I'm looking from, so that's where I'm going to my perspective. We have 111 towns that we parade out of. Some parade out of armories, if there's an armory. Some parade out of schools. Some parade out of church basements. It's wherever they can get space, community centers, and they meet once a week, and they'll go over the basics. They'll go over the drill. They'll go over uniforms. They'll go over how you work in the field before you actually get thrown out into the field, how you march.
And you also have trips.
There is authorized training for 1 day or 2 days. But most importantly, there is regional directed activities, known as RDAs, where a number of these units will get together and go up to, say, Base Borden and do some mass training together. So again, builds more camaraderie. It builds more leadership.
Now, General, you have been on this show before, and we were talking about the problems that right now, and it was addressed by this new government, the armed forces are really... I know you don't want to criticize friends who are in there, but it's not really top notch. Well, and they're having trouble getting new people.
Having trouble recruiting and everything. But, so again, I reiterate, the program is not a military program, but it's based on the military structure and everything. So those young men and women who join it already have the basis for what structure is, what discipline is, what leadership is, what teaching is, because they are teaching each other. Learning to appreciate, somebody else teaching as well. So
learning to be on time.
How to be on
which
time.
Which is important.
Things like map using. I mean, that's where I learned how to use a map and a protractor and everything. So, I mean...
I have grandchildren, and even for children, they don't know how to use a map.
No, of course, because they have GPS now.
Exactly.
Of course, yeah. So these are things that are very useful. Now, as far as the armed forces go, yes, of course, somebody who already knows about discipline, leadership, training, it's much easier to say, okay, well, now you could make a transition to being in the armed forces where this would be reinforced, and then your mission is different at this point. The point is that if we're creating good citizens who have an idea of discipline, leadership, history, heroes of Canada, that creates patriotism. That's a great way of creating knowledge about your country, enhancing patriotism. And then if you want to join the military, well, now you're serving your country in uniform, defending it as required. So, I mean, to me, this is it's a great transition. Doesn't mean you're trying to make child soldiers. You're trying to teach these young men and women how to work in a group. And by the way, that's the other thing, is working as part of a team. I mean, and when Paul talks about, going to these events where they're all massed together, or for example, the summer programs in one of the two large cadet centers, it's fantastic because they're all together now. They're learning, becoming friends and so on. I was in cadets myself. My kids were in cadets. My best friend's kids were in cadets and learned incredible things. So
now, I know some people watching are going to say, well, really, you're teaching history, you're teaching about Canadian heroes. I mean, shouldn't that be taught in schools?
Yes, but if it's not, or if it is, how great to enhance that teaching. And to me, this is another great advantage of the cadet program.
And is it mainly, Paul, is it mainly males?
No, it's a mixture. We have males, we have females, and some units, it's more than 50-50 either way.
Very diverse as well.
Very diverse.
Really? And so we're going to put something up on the board later on about people will gain more information about, because I know you have lots of information. But I just want, we're going to take a quick break again. When we come back, I want the two of you to reflect on how this could be making more of an impact in society than just on the individuals involved. Because as I said, it seems to me, I hear it all the time, that some people say, well, it's not doomsday, but society is falling apart. And we don't have leaders. We don't have people who respect other people. We don't have people who will teach other people. And just a look on your face. I know we're going to have a great conversation when we come back. So there it is. We're going to come back and we're going to have all the answers. Avy, they talk enough. Right back after this.